So here you can see that here the question is that you need to take a integer input from the user and store them in an array and print them, right? So how you are going to do that? You already know, like in an array, how we can read a input from the user. We can read an input with the help of this scanner, right? And in order to use this scanner, you need to use import java util dot star, right? So here, scanner as new scanner. Why we are passing this system dot in? Do you know that? Do you know why we use
so that the user can enter a value.
correct? So here, um, user can enter the value, but this system or system dot in is for accepting the input from a keyboard. Means user will going to enter the input from a keyboard, right? Because the value that you will going to enter is with the help of keyboard. So that is the reason, that is input device. So because of that we are using this system out in. Whatever value you will going to read it, you will going to assign into this integer z. So in the last class I have told you there are different way of declaring an integer, right? Till now, before the last class we have seen that you use square bracket before this variable z, right? And now we have seen this before the z. So here, in order to read this, you need to write int this square bracket, that is for the size of an array, new int 10, right? So whatever the here you are reading the 10 element. Once you read the 10 element, how you are going to print it? You need to run the for loop. And how many times this for loop will run? Based on the length of z, right? Till now it is clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here this I is equal to 0, I is less than z dot length. In order to find out the number of element present in this z, we can write z dot length, right? So here this will run almost 10 times starting from 0, right? So here system dot out println, you will going to print it. So how it will print it? Z in double quotes whatever the current value of I. Here plus I plus is what is the current value of I, it will going to print it. Okay. So here, in order to print the value, it is just writing in the head before accepting, before reading it. It will just writing that you are printing the z index 0 value, and then you will going to read the integer value. This for loop is for reading the value, and the next for loop is for printing the value. So whatever you write inside the double quote will print as it is, and when you write inside this, it will be print in that way. So is it clear to you? This example, uh, Snigdha, do you have any question in this example?
No,
Anything
no,
you want?
sorry. I understood. I understood.
Okay, I will share this link from where you can practice more codes here. I thought to directly start from the website this because I found these questions are really helping in learning. So I thought to just start from this website today. So here, that's why I've opened this website. Here you can try this. You can try running on your system. I will share this link. Don't worry. Okay. So the next question is what here? Next question is you can take a 20 input from the user, and you need to find out how many number are positive from that, how many number are negative, odd, even, and how many zero are them. Okay. Yeah. Hi Akshara. Akshara, am I audible, right? Okay. So here I was just explaining the example based on the array Java. So we have already seen one program, and let's see the another program. So this is, in this program you are going to accept 20 input from a user, and based on that you need to find it out whether it is positive, negative, even, odd, right? So it's a very simple program. Once you run this program, you will get habitual. Okay. So as I have explained you in the last program, inside this class, inside the main method, you need to declare first array, right? And how you're going to declare it? See, you need to write as scanner as new scanner system dot in. Why you need to write it? Because you are going to accept from the input device all the input right from the keyboard, and that is the reason we are writing as dot next in. So now, what was the task that they are expected from you is you need to count the number of positive, negative, odd, even, and number of zero in your input. Out of 20 input, here in this question it is saying you need to rate a 20 value from the user in an array and find it out how many positive, negative, odd, even, and zero. So this is a very important question from the exam point of view. How you are going to do that? First, you need to initialize the array, declare the size of an array. Then you need to create a variable, positive, negative, odd, even, zero, and initialize them with a zero, right? Right? Why I'm initializing with zero? Because right now they are not counting, right? Right now I'm not using it to count. When I will use them for count, then I have to increment this value. So in order to remove garbage value initialized by them, I have assigned with zero, right? Is it clear till now? Is it do you have any question?
So
Okay. So here, same thing you will going to do it here. This for loop, you are going to read the input from a user. I is equal to 0, I is less than z dot length. Z is what? Array where you will going to read a value, and this for loop will run based on the size of an array. So here you have specified 20. Even if you can use directly 20 here, or you can use z dot length also. So that out of, suppose you have initialized out of 20, you have initialized only 16, then z dot length will automatically find out the length with the help of length function. Okay, they will going to find out the length here, and they will accept it, and they will run it, right? Okay, sorry, I have, yeah. So here, once they accept the input from the user, right? Once they accept it, they will going to read it here. So here they will prompt you on the screen that you are reading the index 0 value. Then they will write it zi s dot next int. Why we are using this? So that you can read integer value and initialize to this array. Now the important part comes here. Now you are going to check it, that whatever value that you are reading it, is it greater than 0? If it is greater than 0, then you will increment it. If it is less than 0, you can increment this negative value. So right now, current value of positive is what? 0, right? When you will going to so now you will checking the condition here. Is the value present in that current index zi? Suppose now z0 is initialized with 1. So is 1 is greater than 0? Condition true, it means that it is positive. If you have enter a value, some negative value, then the condition will become false here. It will condition become true here, right? Suppose you have enter -1, so they will check, okay, else if is zi value is less than 0, negative plus plus. So this positive, negative, 0 plus plus, this value will increment as the number of value they will going to read from the array. Now this is was positive, negative, and in order to count, means if there is not positive number, not negative number, then it means that it might be a zero. So they will increment the zero variable. This zero variable will count the number of zero. Okay. Now the next thing is what you need to find out, even and odd. So what, you know mod operator, right? I've already explained in the few class before. What is mod operator? Can you tell me, Snigdha, mod operator? Akshara,
It basically it finds the remainder.
good, very good. So here, when you divide, and in here you are dividing the array value, whatever present in the index, by 2. Okay, so we use this percent sign. This percent sign is what? Mod operator. So now when you divide it by 2, if you are getting 0 remainder, it means that it is even, right? For example, 2, when you divide 2 by 2, you are getting 0. When you divide 4, 6, 8, 10, all are what? Even number. So it will be increment even number. If not, then else part will execute and they will add odd. So in this way you will get the how many number of positive value you have read, how many number of negative value you have read, how many number of zeros are present in your value that you read, even and odd. Is it clear to you? Right, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So will you practice it, this code? In the next class I will see your code in the Eclipse. Just try this code. Okay, means take a
Yes,
reference
sir.
from this. Okay, take a reference. And I could have shown you, but I thought you should run from your side, because in the last two class I've shown you how to run the code, but you should also run on the Eclipse. Now you know how to run the Eclipse, right? Both of you know, right? Snigdha, Akshara, are you know, like means, do you comfortable with Eclipse to run the code? In case if you are not comfortable, you can use online Java compiler also. Okay, just type online Java compiler and you can run it. But that is not a standard way of running the code. If you use Eclipse, then you can run without an internet also, without a, so don't keep a habit of using online compiler. You just better you use it, uh, Eclipse ID that I am using, like this. How to create a, okay, how to start it, I just explain you once again. Click on this file. Once you click on this Eclipse, you will get this screen, right? Then go to this file, click new, create any project. Okay, just like I am click Java project, give the name, for example this array practice. Okay, and just click on this next button and wait for some few seconds, then click on finish. Okay, and just don't create. If you get this prompt, click on this don't create. Now you will see that you are getting one project. Okay, these all are project. Click on this project, click on this src, right click. Okay, right click here, src, new, and just create a class. Click on this class. Okay, you can note down this step, otherwise I will upload this video, so you can just have a look on those video and you can try it. So what is the step? File, new, Java project, file, new. Okay, Java project. Once you create a Java project, your project will come here. Click on this src, click new, go to this class and give the name array demo. So you will create the class. Click on this finish button, and main function you want it, right? Main function should be present, so click here finish. So you will see that a class is created and main function is there. Now you need to write the code here. So just write the code here. Once you are done with the code, you can run this button, or you can directly run, or you can run from here also. Click on this run Java application. Is it clear to you? Is it clear like how you can run the code on Eclipse?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's see some more example. Now, I want to know from you, okay? This question is there where you need to accept the input from a user, store them in an array, and you want to print them in a reverse order. So how you are going to print it? Just apply the logic here. Try to build a logic. You Normally, how you print the array? Uh, can you try? Normally, how you print the array? Am I audible, right?
Yes, sir. I'm uh,
Okay, just try from your side, like how
I'm
you
not
can.
very sure how to do it.
Just think. Okay, how you print the for loop? How you print the array? Usually, I have explained you, right?
You system.in.
No, system.in is for printing, but if you want
Sorry.
to print array present out of index 0, how you usually print? Suppose,
Um,
see this code. Now tell me how you usually print or approach any printing. Means any element, how you usually print it. I will explain you the logic. Just wanted to know how your approach.
so we are supposed to take it and reverse it. Take 10 numbers and reverse it.
Yeah, somewhat.
That's what we should do. Yeah.
Yes, somewhat that side. Correct. Somewhat you said correct. Okay, let me explain you how it is work. So suppose you have declared an array, right? Just 1 minute, sorry. So here, suppose you want to declare an array. Hmm, sorry, my I think my cursor is hang. Right? So you declare usually like this. Suppose this is your array, right? You can see this here. See the code. You just declare an array like this and you just specify the size. Am I right? So here, inside this square bracket, in this square bracket, you usually give the size 20. And when you write the for loop, how you usually write the for loop? Right? For example, for int I is equal to 0. Okay, I is less than equal to, if I is less than equal to what? Z dot length terminate I plus plus. Okay, so here how you usually print it, starting from this zero index. Okay, starting from this zero index and you move till z dot length. So how, what is the length of z now? Just see from the declaration and tell me what is the length of z.
20.
Correct. So here it will be initialized with 20. Now you are print starting from the zero. Suppose how this array look like, they are like this cell, right? which are divided in some. So now it can be it will be long because 20 elements are there. So starting from zero index, it will go till the last index will be 19, right? Because 20 element you want to save. So how you usually printing 0 to 19 when you want to print in the correct order. But now you want to print in the reverse order, then how you are going to start? You will going to start in the reverse direction. Okay, so what is the logic for that? In order to write that logic, your logic will be like this: for int I will be start from which value, sorry, so I will be start from which value? Is it clear to you what for loop I have written? Is it clear to you?
So
So here I'm just writing in the reverse direction, means my I value will be start what will be the length of z, that is 20. Okay, so I will start from 20. I will run this loop will run till 20 is greater than 0, right? And it will decrement every time. Okay, so now you will going to print in the reverse direction. So instead of suppose you have an array, suppose this is your array, and in that array, suppose your name is saved. Suppose you have stored the name like Snigdha. Okay, and the index is from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. So instead of printing from 0 to 7, I will print from 7. I will start from 7 to 0. So it will print in the reverse direction, right? A, H, D, G, right? In that way. Is it clear to you?
yes, sir.
So just see this code. When you see this code, it will be more clear to you. I have just want to make you explain the logic. That's the reason. Just see this. You will going to read. Okay. Yeah. Here, what we have done. Here we are reading two array A and B. First array will be here. Actually, the question was take 10 integer input from a user, store them in an array. Now copy all element in another array, but in a reverse order. Okay, if it look complex to you, you can do one thing. Just change this question and you can just do it, printing an array in a reverse order. So you what you will going to do, you will going to read an array like this syntax a. For reading an array, one for loop you will use, that will be syntax I is equal to 0 I a dot length. So you will going to read in a correct order only, starting to end. But while printing, you will going to just change the logic. Instead of printing in the same way, you will going to write I is equal to b dot length minus 1, or I is greater than equal to 0 I minus minus. Okay, so it will the last index is actually the last index is 19 here, because 0 to 19 start from 0. So you will write b length minus 1. I have taken b length, if it start from 1, but it should come b length minus 1. Okay, if your index is start from here, you will going to add minus 1 in case your index is starting from 0. If it is starting from 1, then you will use z dot length. So same thing is there. While printing, you just write I is equal to b dot length minus 1, I is greater than 0, and I minus minus. So is it clear to you? If it not, then I can explain you once again.
It's clear, sir.
Clear. Okay. So today you just try this three code, first one, second one, and the third one. These three code you want to try now.
Oh no.
Okay, so you just try it at your home, both the example, three example, and let me know if anything is not clear. Okay, so in the next class we will going to start. Which topic we should you want me to start?
Nested for loops. We have our exams coming up. So can you just keep teaching us nested for loop programs?
Nested for loop. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I have already uploaded the video on the nested for loop. You can go
Yeah.
through it, and I will make you practice on those nested for loop. Your class started, right?
You mean school?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it started.
Okay. Akshara, is it clear to you or not? Because sometimes you don't answer. So, like, is it clear?
Yes, sir. I had to keep leaving. I have network issues.
Okay. If you have any question, if any point, if anything is not clear, you can ping on the group or you can ask me immediately. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This subject is a scoring subject. If you can practice on at least 3 4 program, any question you can solve it. They will going to ask from this only. I'm just sending you the link also in WhatsApp. You can practice there. Okay. So just have a look on this code and just try it. So which question you will going to solve? The first one, third one, third one. Don't leave it. Okay. Third one is important from the exam point of view. It will guide you like how to count. So third one you practice it, and fourth one, and send me the screenshot. So when you will going to send a screenshot?
So we'll send it by next class.
Okay. So before Friday, you uh, on Saturday, Sunday we have a class. So till Friday,
Yeah.
you can send me both.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Akshara, you also.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we will connect in the next class with nested for loop. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.